Welcome back. In this video, we are going to talk about reading notes in the treble clef and also introducing what clefs are to begin with. So let's start off by looking at a picture of a grand staff. So remember, a grand staff is when we have two staves. I've got one staff here and one staff down here. They're connected by the brace, which forms the grand staff. Now, at the beginning of each staff, you will always see a clef, spelled C-L-E-F. Sometimes the clef might look like this. Sometimes the clef might look like this. Sometimes even we might have a clef that looks like this. But for the purposes of this video, we are going to focus predominantly on this clef here, which is known as a treble clef. Treble clef. And this treble clef is also known as the G clef, partially because it looks a little bit like the letter G, and also because the note that exists right here that the treble clef circles around is actually the note G, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. So there are many different ways that you can think of notes in music. Sometimes people use solfege, which we'll cover in a different video. Sometimes people use numbers, and sometimes they use letters. In the United States, we use letters predominantly. So that's what we're going to start off with. So we've talked about the difference between line notes and space notes. So here I'm going to draw a very common line note, which looks like this. In order to draw this line note, I start off by drawing a line. This is known as a ledger line. Okay, it's known as a ledger line. A ledger line is any time you draw a line that is either above or below the staff. All of those are ledger lines. So I start off by drawing a ledger line, then I'm going to draw my note right over the ledger line. These notes are known as middle C, like the letter C, middle C. And middle C is here on the piano, near the middle of the piano, which is why it's called middle C. Okay. So now we're going to learn how to read some other notes. So I've already mentioned, we already know that this is the note C, or middle C, and we've mentioned that this is the note G, okay, above middle C. So if we're looking at the piano, if this is C, C, D, E, F, G, I'm just going in order, that's where G is on the piano. So in music, we use the letters A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. If we count them, you'll notice there's actually 7 of them, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We actually only have 7 different notes in music. And they just repeat. So if I start on the piano, from here, this is C. If I go down C, B, A, this is actually an A. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Then it starts again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. All the way up the piano, all the way down the piano. And it looks like this in music. Okay, so if I do a low A, that's 2 ledger lines down. I'm just going to show you this. You don't have to remember this yet. So this would be the notes A, B, C, D, E, F, G. If I played that on piano, it looked like this. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. and then it would just repeat again as I go line note, space note, like a staircase. Line note in the space, space note, line note, space note, line note, space note. And again, it starts again A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, so that's how it's arranged. Now, there are some shortcuts to learning how to read music a little bit faster, and so I'd like to show you one that I think is pretty easy for treble clef. So I'm going to draw another treble clef here, and let's use a color. In this case, I'm going to draw 4 space notes. If we count these space notes, we can call this bottom space space number 1, space number 2, space number 3, and space number 4. Now, you might recall that the note that's on the second line from the bottom is the note G. This is the note G, okay? Well, that means that if we go down one note from G into the space, that's going to be going down one letter from G. The letter before G is F. If we go up one letter from G into the space above the G line, this is going to be A. And if we continue, the line above A will be B, the line above B will be C, the line above C will be D, and the space above D will be E. This spells the word face. F-A-C-E. Face. So just by using the space notes, you can actually learn to read the notes pretty fast, pretty quickly. So if a note is on the bottom space, the first space between the bottom line and the second line, that's always going to be the note F. If a note is in between the second line, let's say this is the first line, second line, and third line, fourth line, and fifth line. If it's between the second and third line, well, that's going to be the note A. If the note is between the third and the fourth line, it's going to be the note C. And if it's in between the top 2 lines, it'll be the note E. So let's do a little quick drill here. Okay? And let me use the color green for fun. All right? See if you can figure out what these notes are. It's in the bottom space. If you said F, you are absolutely correct because it's in between the first 2 lines. Let's try this one. What do you think that is? If you think it's a C, you're absolutely right because it's in between the third and fourth lines. It's in the third space. What about this note? If you said A, give yourself a pat on the back. Very good. And let's do one more. Yes, it's in the top space, so therefore it is the letter E. Now, if you know those 4 notes, you actually know the rest of the notes as well. You can figure them out. So let me show you how we can do that. So I'm going to draw my 4 space notes again. Remember, this is F, A, C, and E, spelling face. Now, for each of these notes, let's say F. If we go down to the line below F, that means we're just going to go 1 letter below F. So 1 letter below F is going to be the letter E, because A, B, C, D, E, F. E comes before F. By the same token, if we go up to the line above F, That's going to be the letter that comes after F. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's the note G. Same happens if we look at the note A. So here's the note A. If I go down from the space A to the line right below it, we're going to go to the letter before A. Now you might say, well, what's the letter before A? Well, remember that there are only 7 notes, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it repeats A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So if we look here, what's the letter before A? That's right. It's the letter G. So this is the note G. And you'll notice it's exactly the same note as this one right here, right? They're the same note, G. And then the line above A, it's going to be the letter that comes after A, which is B. We can do the same with our note C here that lives in the third space. The note right below C is going to be, again, B, the same as this one here. The note above C is going to be the letter that comes after C, A, B, C, D. And last but not least, we have the note in the top space, which is E. If we go down to the note below E, that's going to be D, just like here. And if we go up to the line above E, A, B, C, D, E, F. So now we have actually figured out every single one of those notes on the lines and the spaces. So how can we use this technique to help us read music? Let's practice just a little bit here together. So again, I'll draw my treble clef. And just for reference, I'm going to write in face F, A, C, E. Now I'm going to draw a note. Let's say that we have this note here. Well, this note is on the middle line, the third line, which is in between A and C. Well, what letter comes between A and C? A, B, C. So this is a B. Let's say that we have this note here. This is on the fourth line. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is above C and below E. So it's the letter between C and E. A, B, C, D. So that's a D. What if we have this note? Well, this one isn't on a line, it's in a space. So if we just look, oh, it's on the same space that A is, F-A-C-E. We just have to spell face. And let's do a couple more. Let's say that we have a note on the bottom line. This is below F. Well, what letter comes before F? A, B, C, D, E, F. So it's E. And we'll do one more. The line on the very top of the music staff, and that is above E. So what letter comes after E? A, B, C, D, E, F. So hopefully this gives you some tools to begin your journey in reading music for the treble clef, and I will see you in the next video.